Hey beautiful people, welcome to today's vlog. So this is more or less like a continuation of our previous tutorial video. um in our previous video I showed us how to cut and sew a pencil skirt, basic pencil skirt with a ruffled slit at the front. So for this I'm actually making a little change. So this is a pinafore or a Dungarees with ruffle at the base of the gown. So first and foremost, I'm actually making my ruffles. So if you want to know how to cut a simple pencil skirt, you could check out my other videos where I've done detailed teachings in one or two vlogs. So I'll leave the link below in the description box. So for this, my skirt is already sewn, it's already been cut and stitched. So I'm simply making my ruffles. So I'd gone ahead to cut out my fabric required for my ruffles. What I simply did was to make loose stitches. So for this, it's a combination of loose stitches and also the use of needle. So in my previous video I used needle, so it's a simple method. You could also check that out. So my ruffles for the skirt is ready. So next I'll be attaching it to my pencil skirt. So for this skirt I did not bother to attach lining because the it's having ruffles at the base. Okay, so if you want to wear this, you could simply wear your um, shorts or tights underneath, or your underwear, whatever it is. So I'll just go ahead now and attach my ruffles to the base of my skirt first of all. So I made an opening at the back of it so I'll be able to walk freely. So if you want yours to be tight, you could close the opening at the back. So what I'll simply do now is place my ruffles and sew the middle of the ruffle around the base of the skirt, as you see me indicate with my fingers. So in this particular video recording I did, I actually made a mistake sort of in the positioning of my camera, so that's why it appears the my displays are having cut-offs somehow. So my camera wasn't well positioned, so I'm sorry for that. So I've attached my ruffles to my pencil skirt. So next we'll be attaching our band, our waistband, to the skirt. And for this I'd already cut out a piece of fabric which I folded in two, and then I'll just go ahead and attach it to the waist. So ensure the length of this fabric is equal to the size, the waist circumference, okay? And then the width of the fabric was about 6 inches before folding into. All right, that being said, would be going over to cut out the fabric required for the upper part of this gown. Okay, so I'm really sorry in this video is not displaying as it ought to. So what I did here was to fold my fabric as in two. You can actually attach your lining to the upper part of it, but I wanted mine to have a fabric within and outside, so I didn't want lining inside of it. So what I did here is I'm actually cutting out the front portion of the gown, of the top of the gown, and then also the fabric for the back of the gown. So the difference between the front fabric and the back fabric is the zip space left for zipper allowance. So for the front, which I'm cutting now, I'm taking my shoulder to shoulder measurement, which is 16 inches divided by 2. and then I had 8. So I reduced it further by 1.5 inches, and then I took my measurement from that shoulder, which was 6.5 inches, down to the waist. So if you notice, it is not straight because I'm not wanting to cut out a straight fabric. So it's sort of having a V shape. So after opening the top, you would see it's having a V shape. Then for the neck also, our neckline is a V neckline. So the neckline for this Dungaree gown or pinafore gown is a V neckline. Okay, so from the shoulder to the chest area was about 8.5 inches deep. Okay, because I'm going to be wearing it up inside, so it doesn't really matter if the V neckline is deep. So now I'm simply cutting out the portion of the fabric that I do not require, and after that I'll be using the front fabric to cut out the back, and then I'll also be leaving out the space for my zipper allowance. So please take note that each of these fabric cutouts are in pairs. I mean, they are doubled. So what we'll be doing after cutting out the patterns is we'll be stitching each pair together. So the outer layer and the inner layer will be stitched together. Okay, so you would notice that I'll be indicating with my fingers around the edges of this fabric. So I'll be running my stitches around the edges of this fabric. Okay, so I'll be leaving out only the base where I'll be flipping, which I would be flipping the fabric over to the right side. So I've gone ahead to do that now, and I'm simply attaching the back fabric to the front fabric, and then I'll be sewing the shoulders together. So that's basically all for the sewing of the top portion of our dungarees. Okay, so next I'll be attaching it to the skirt on the waistband. So please ensure you take the measurements first to get the middle of the front, and also to get the back section where the top will be attached to the skirt. So now I'll be attaching the back side. Haven't done that of the front. So what I did was to ensure it started from the beginning of the space left for my zipper allowance, because the zip is going to come from the very top portion of the gown into the skirt. So the last and final thing we'll be doing now is attaching our zipper to the back, and that will be all for the making of our Dungarees skirts / pinafore. So guys, thanks for watching today's vlog. I look forward to seeing us in our next tutorial video. So if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and give your girl a thumbs up. And thanks guys. See you in our next video. Bye.